The following is a DW Ancient Egypt production. With any civilization, we must first begin with an overview of the terrain, as the environment played vital roles in how each culture developed. With the Egyptians, these early people began building small communities along the Nile River, which eventually developed into larger towns over time. Egypt was originally divided into two regions, Upper and Lower Egypt. The Nile River flowed north, which was due to the higher mountains in the south. Just keep in mind that Upper and Lower Egypt was based on the flow of the Nile, so Lower Egypt was the delta region, while Upper Egypt was the mountainous terrain in the south. The Nile River was the lifeblood of ancient Egypt, flowing from south to north for approximately 4,135 miles. It provided water for irrigation, transportation, and supported the fertile floodplain known as the Nile Valley. The river's annual flooding deposited nutrient-rich silt, creating arable land for agriculture. The Greek historian Herodotus called Egypt the gift of the Nile, since the kingdom owed its survival to the annual flooding of the Nile and the resulting depositing of fertile silt. This gave the only source for crop growth to an otherwise inhospitable area. Without the Nile, Egypt would have been nothing but a desert with a few oasis locations. At the northern end of the Nile, the river formed a delta before draining into the Mediterranean Sea. The Nile Delta was a fertile region with a network of distributaries, or branching channels, allowing for the cultivation of crops such as wheat, barley, and flax. The Nile River served as a vital trade route connecting different regions of ancient Egypt. It allowed for the transportation of goods, including agricultural produce, minerals, and luxury items. The Red Sea provided access to trade routes with neighboring regions and facilitated contact with civilizations across the Red Sea and beyond. In the eyes of the ancient Egyptians, Egypt had two lands, the Black Land and the Red Land. The Black Land was known as Kemet and was the fertile lands along the Nile. Think of black as the black soil needed for crop production. The Red Land was the barren desert that protected Egypt on two sides. Think of red as hot, arid desert. These deserts separated ancient Egypt from neighboring countries and invading armies, and was the main cause for allowing their civilization to thrive for nearly 3,000 years. To the west of the Nile, the vast Sahara Desert acted as a natural barrier, protecting Egypt from invasions and providing isolation. The Eastern Desert, also known as the Red Sea Hills, bordered the Nile Valley on the east. These desert regions were harsh and arid, sparsely inhabited, and mainly served as natural boundaries. While oases existed in the Western Desert, the Eastern Desert was largely empty of habitation, except around a few mines and quarries. Dry lake beds in the Delta and Lower Egypt provided natron, the salt used to preserve mummified corpses. The desert region northeast of Memphis provided valuable stone, including quartzite for grinding and drilling tools, and limestone for building tombs and temples. Copper came from mines in the Sinai Peninsula and the Eastern Desert. Then there was gold. It was said by a Hittite ruler that there was as much gold in Egypt as there was sand. This enormous wealth allowed Egypt to produce timber from the Levant and import other goods into the country, including lapis lazuli, silver, ebony, ivory, and olive oil. Egypt's southern boundary, at the southern edge of Upper Egypt, was traditionally held to be the first cataract. This was an area of harsh rapids and waterfalls some 600 miles due south of the main exit point of the Nile into the Mediterranean. During the Old Kingdom, this was Egypt's farthest extent. During the Middle and New Kingdom periods, however, Egyptian armies pushed further south, as far as the Sixth Cataract, in an attempt to invade and conquer Nubia. Ancient Egypt experienced a distinct seasonal pattern due to its proximity to the tropics. The year was divided into three main seasons: the flood season, the planting season, and the harvest season. The Nile's floodwaters brought relief from the arid climate and provided fertile soil for the agricultural productivity. Egypt's geography contributed to its overall arid climate. The region received minimal rainfall, and agriculture relied heavily on irrigation from the Nile. The scarcity of rainfall necessitated careful water management and a focus on sustainable agricultural practices. The geography of ancient Egypt, characterized by the Nile River, fertile floodplains, and surrounding deserts, played a crucial role in shaping the civilization's development. The Nile's annual floods provided sustenance and fertile land, allowing for agricultural abundance. The natural resources and trade routes facilitated economic growth and cultural exchange. Understanding the geography of ancient Egypt helps us to appreciate the factors that contributed to the civilization's longevity and remarkable achievements.